$135,000 US. That is the price of this new 2024 BMW 750e with xDrive. Is this plug-in electric hybrid worth it? Well, we're going to take it for a drive. Make the call. That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. When I think of large luxury sports sedans, my mind immediately goes to the Mercedes S-Class. And then eventually, yeah, I'll think about the BMW 7 Series. But right now, driving this, I realize I might have that in the wrong order. This is the new 2024 BMW 750e with xDrive. It's a plug-in electric hybrid that redefines what you should expect from a large sports sedan. The headlights, the dash, the control knob, and even the transmission controller are all made from crystal. The seats have built-in massage. The doors open and close automatically. The back seat, it can transform into a quiet oasis with a single tap. Granted, the face is polarizing, but at least it's not anonymous looking. When you see this, you know this is a new 7 Series. The car we're testing here is painted a matte frozen pure gray metallic. And altogether, the effect is rather menacing. If this were a movie, this isn't the car that the good guy would be driving. No, it'd be the other guy. In terms of power, yeah, I would be very concerned about our hero making a clean getaway. Because the 750e here has a twin turbo inline 6-cylinder mated to a hybrid powertrain. Altogether, it puts out 483 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. BMW claims a time of only 4.8 seconds. The transmission is a ZF8 speed, and it actually works pretty good here. Are you worried that this doesn't have a V8? Yeah, that's not really a problem. This thing is quick. Properly quick. Because this is a plug-in electric, you can get up to 34 miles of all-electric driving, thanks to the included 14.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack. Even in all-electric mode, it isn't slow. The electric motor makes a peak 194 horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque all by itself. Now, this may not sound that impressive, but that is more power than a Miata, all by itself. Of course, I'm just talking about the electric side. Add that together with the inline twin-turbo 6, yeah, it's pretty powerful. Because this is a plug-in electric hybrid, the EPA rates it using their wonky MPG-E rating, in that it scores 65. If you do run out of battery electric power, then you will be getting 25 MPGs from the gas motor alone, which actually, if you think about it, isn't that bad. Unlike Mercedes, which split off its all-electric EQS from the S-Class, BMW here just says that the 7 Series is a 7 Series, no matter if you pick petrol, electric, or hybrid. And I think that is the right choice. Get in the vehicle, foot on the brake, door closes automatically. I mean, it's a cool party trick, but every day doing that, I kind of hate it. I like the direction that BMW is taking with their interiors. Mercedes-Benz has gone screen crazy, and that's nowhere more apparent than the EQS that we tested just a few years ago. Even though it's a pretty glitzy package, the fundamentals here are actually pretty basic. Front and center, I get a digital gauge cluster. Over here, I get an infotainment screen, which kind of controls everything else. And they are meshed together to make it look like one continuous display, which is a cool effect. And yes, Kia's doing that also recently, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I like this look. The iDrive system here is a little confusing when you first sit in the vehicle, but after a few days, you do kind of get used to it. It is fast, it's responsive, and it's relatively easy to use. I can even use iDrive here to, say, open my door or any other door on the vehicle. It's kind of cool. Click it again, closes it. Or I can open all 4 doors. How cool is that? There's also a button here for My Modes, and this allows us to access all the drive mode settings as well as a few other things. Because this vehicle is a combination of electric and gas, plus it has air suspension and all-wheel drive, the driver's settings actually do quite a lot to change the characteristic of the way this vehicle operates. And you can just dive into any of these presets, go to settings, and you can see exactly what is being changed. Everything from drivetrain to driving dynamics to steering, damping, even whether or not your seats add a little extra bolstering on the sides for sporty driving. Yeah, that's all in here. And then of course you can also come up with your own preset if you don't like the way that they have everything else set up here. If you do get lost in this system, you can always go to the function screen, and that just kind of lists everything out in alphabetical order. It makes it very easy to kind of find something that might be otherwise buried rather deep. And of course, yes, you can either use the jog shuttle controller down here, which yes is crystal, or you can just use the touch screen. Of course, BMW also provides a number of shortcut keys throughout the cabin. I can click here to go straight to driver settings. I can click over here to go to my seat controls, which yes, does include massage seats thanks to yet another upgrade package, which is on this tester. And as far as massage seats go, these are really good. For maximum power, you do want to select Sport mode. That unleashes the maximum amount of juice, but not really, because the actual way to get the maximum amount of juice is to hold the boost button down, and then you get 10 seconds of all 483 horsepower. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, it's quick. But boost mode only kicks in for 10 seconds. After that, yeah, it's just kind of quick. Hit the brakes, and the large rotors bring this car to a stop very quickly. However, it can be a bit inconsistent, and that's because of the regenerative braking. It's really hard to gauge when the regen's going to stop and the actual physical braking is going to begin. So if you're darting around through a bunch of corners, yeah, you might get some inconsistent braking experience. So you don't really want to push braking to the edge. And as if the inconsistent braking isn't annoying enough, it will also look at environmental factors to automatically apply a little brake. Car slowing down in front of you, it'll add a little brake. Corner coming up, it'll add a little brake. It's stuff like that, that auto driving stuff, that kind of drives me mad when it's just below the surface. It's like, if I want auto driving, I want full auto driving. I don't want this little assist thing, okay? That's just annoying. I did look around the menus to try to turn off the pseudo autopilot, but I couldn't. So I don't know if it's not even here. If you know, please post a comment below, because the next time I get into one of these, I'd love to be able to shut that off. On our test vehicle, the wheels have been upgraded to the 21-inch star spoke design, and they're wrapped in Pirelli P0s in a 255/40 R21 fitment in the front and a 285/35 R21 in the back. If you do want to drive this first and foremost as an electric car and then just fall back to petrol when your lithium-ion battery is depleted, well, you can set that up. You just go into drivetrain and chassis, which is an option on the screen here. You go up to electric driving and you can select electric automatically. That will default this vehicle to all electric mode. You could, if you just want to drive it like a hybrid all the time, yeah, just deselect electric automatically and boom, there you go. So if I wanted to maintain the battery for later, yes, I can also do that here. However, keep in mind that is tied into the drive mode that you're using, so you can't do that if you're, say, for example, in sport mode, because that requires both electric and gas to kind of cooperate together. And of course, no matter what drive mode you're in, if you do go past the indent on the throttle pedal, it will kick in all power from all systems that are available. And yes, if you do deplete your battery, that doesn't mean that there's no electric. This is like a standard hybrid. It's constantly regenerating power, and it will always have enough to operate as a standard hybrid. You just may not be able to operate on electric only if your lithium-ion battery is fully depleted. Overall, this effect, yeah, it's really glitzy, but I do kind of love it. I'm not sure why. I typically don't like showy interiors, but this is pretty cool. I mean, the crystal, the colors behind it, there's even a little LED that glows here. Oh, and the colors in the door panels will reflect the environment outside. If I'm driving and there's somebody in my blind spot, this will change color to show me that. It's little things like that where I'm like, wow, that's cool. But I think ultimately what I love best about this car is simply driving it. Sure, it's bedazzled with crystals and carbon fiber, but the actual driving fundamentals are really good once you get past those little driver assists. Steering feels great, the suspension just soaks up everything, but you still can feel what the road is doing, and that's the fundamental difference between just being soft and being elegant. And yes, there's an option for the doors to open and close automatically. Okay, I do kind of hate the power doors, but they are optional. You don't have to get them. You can even hear a lecture from somebody who created digital art for the car for some reason. I don't really know why this is here. It's actually in the drive modes, and you go over to digital art, and now it's like...
A connection with BMW. Start with the creation of the 18 BMW art car. With the digital art mode,
I'm not kidding, it's bizarre, and I have no idea why something like that is in this car, let alone in the drive modes. I mean, you would have to be a pretty hardcore BMW fan to really care about an artist creating digital art.
We have the chance to cooperate again and integrate my art into the software of the car.
The seats are extraordinarily comfortable, even before you consider the fact that they have massage units built in. And cool party trick, it'll actually heat the armrests in addition to the seat. Of course, you also get seat ventilation as well. Then there's this heads-up display. I like the sport mode that has a little like wing device that responds to the inputs of the car. It feels really organic, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. Is it necessary? Well, no, but it's one of those little things that you just don't get on any other vehicle. And I don't know why, but I think that is extraordinarily cool. And if you're not into the heads-up display or you want a different layout, because there are multiple, yeah, you can also change that here in the gauge cluster. And speaking of the gauge cluster, that too can also be customized. There are several very unique designs that I think really make, being in this vehicle a real joy. You can really customize it, everything from layout to features to the colors. This tester is equipped with the $2,000 driver assistance package. And it works pretty good. I can just hit the button over here to turn it on, set my target speed. It'll not only pace the vehicle in front of me up to a maximum target speed, it'll also lane trace us down the middle. You can see the steering wheel do it for itself. Now this is a level 2 system. This isn't a hands-free system. I'm just doing that to demonstrate for you. And it works pretty good. My biggest issue with this setup is just that it costs an extra $2,000. I mean, Toyota gives you basically the same functionality in every vehicle they make. No added charge. So I'm going to try launch control. I'm going to put the transmission into sport mode. I'm going to put the drive mode into sport. I'm going to turn driving dynamics into DSC off. And then I'm going to initiate the launch control mode, or initiate the boost mode, which will give us the maximum amount of output for up to 10 seconds. Okay, I got 10, 9. Let's try it. 3, 2, 1, and go. What? Good Lord. Whew. 4.24 seconds in a very unscientific and not perfectly level road. Wow. That was awesome. I actually think I'm a perfect use case for this vehicle. I wouldn't go all electric because we just don't really have the infrastructure out here, and it's going to cost a lot of money for me to add a proper level 2 charger to my house. So with this vehicle, I could actually get into town and back again barely with the 34 miles of all electric range. So that means that in our daily chores, we're probably not going to use hardly any gas. And you can set this up to run in primarily electric mode and then only defaulting to gas if you go full throttle or if you run out of batteries on the extended range lithium ions. So in that case, this vehicle would be almost perfect. For about the same amount of money, you can get the all-electric i7. But for me and my lifestyle, this vehicle actually fits better. Of course, we have to talk about the price. This starts at $107,000 US, but the vehicle we have here has $30,000 worth of options. So keep that in mind if you're shopping for one. On the upside, you can customize the vehicle to have every option that you want and nothing that you don't want. Personally, I'd say yes to the panorama roof, the driving assistance package, the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and maybe the M Sport package. Just because, yeah, I'm a sucker for M badging. I also simply love this matte silver paint. But for $5,000, I would think long and hard before checking yes on that option. But all those features are just icing on the cake. Ultimately, this is really just a great vehicle to drive, and that doesn't change if you go with the base 750e xDrive sedan. I think that this does look better than the current lineup of anonymous to a fault Mercedes S-Class and EQS vehicles. It also provides a better driving experience overall. So yeah, now when somebody asks me like, what's my favorite large luxury sedan? I don't think I'm going to be thinking of Mercedes first. Nope, I'm probably going to think to the 750e with xDrive. Which one would you pick? Post a comment below. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, share our videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy them.